that I've been reaching for this season. And I've had this for it's probably been 10 years. I remember times that I've worn this blouse. Anyway, I went on to get you guys a link, and you can go find it, just Google it. But currently these are selling for $250 for a blouse. I mean, I think I got it at TJ Maxx Runway back in the day. But anyway, this exact same blouse is currently available. It's a standard classic button-down blouse. But I just find that a top like this is a heavy hitter. Now, I know a lot of you say, I don't like wearing button-downs. Like I'm wearing a chambray shirt button-down, which, you know, is cotton and a little more stiff and restrictive. And that's not great for a lot of people, especially if you have a larger chest. You don't like wearing button-downs, or it's just not your style. An alternative to the classic button-down that every list says you need to have, that's an essential, an alternative is a button-down blouse. And you know, it doesn't have to be a button-down. It can be a regular blouse, but the beauty of a button-down is, you know, you get the collar around your face. It's just a very classic, chic, very sophisticated look. And it gives you that built-in V-neck. You can play with how low you want the neck opening to be based on how you button it. You can wear it tucked in. You can wear it tied at the waist. You can wear it half tucked. You can wear it untucked. So many different options with a blouse like this. So my recommendation is go to your blouses and pull out a favorite color. I mean, it's nice to have white. It's nice to have black. I have a black one too that I love from Peach. But a favorite color that you just love, blouse like that, good to have. Next, I'm a cardigan girl. I love cardigans. I wear them all the time, almost every day this time of year. I'm throwing a cardigan on as my third layer. Now, this season, or even starting last season, you're seeing a change in cardigans. I talked about this last week in my swap video. I talked about the cascading waterfall type cardigans they were so popular, and they're still good. I mean, especially the longer straight ones, you know, that hang a little more straight, that aren't so dramatic. Those are still good, but what you're seeing a lot of are more of these kind of like schoolgirl buttoned cardigans with a V-neck. And what I love about this one in particular is that, like, I wore this the other night in Ohio. In fact, I had to pull it out of the laundry. I can smell the stain remover because it's dirty, but it's very dirty. I wore it the other night just as it is, or it was during the day, without anything underneath it because it's not too low cut. And I did a very slight half tuck in the front, but you don't have to. It's a little bit on the shorter side. So it's great with the new jean silhouettes that we'll talk about, but you can reduce the boxiness by either doing a very loose half tuck, or if that bugs you, because it is a lot of material, even if a little bit, it's a lot of material to tuck in, and that's not for everyone. So the other alternative is just unbutton it and wear a fitted tank or t-shirt under it, and that gives you your structure, and then throw this on open, and you get that on-trend, shorter. It's not cropped by any stretch. You'll see cropped ones that can be cute. This is, you know, it's like hip length. Shorter and buttoned is a great silhouette for cardigans. I also have this one in cashmere that I love. That's deeper. You could wear this with like a cami under it if you wanted to, but it's the same idea in cashmere. And I'm linking all of these, and I also link a longer buttoned cardigan if you like the longer ones with pockets, because those are still great. But they're the buttons, and the V-neck button is very on trend. Okay, so we've gone 1, 2. Now we are switching gears away from clothes to a book. Very random. Last week I talked about my 6 habits that I'm trying to install into my life, or work on, and one of them is my morning routine, which I'm pretty dialed in on. But one of the elements of my morning routine is I'm trying to read every day. And I usually have a book, like a business type book or entrepreneurial book that I have going. But I was actually in a bookstore recently, and this book caught my eye. I have my glasses. It's called The Intellectual Devotional. I've linked it on Amazon, and it's interesting. First of all, you gotta wear your glasses. It has got to be the smallest print I've ever seen in a book, so take that into consideration. I'm like, my husband's reading it too, and he's like, huh? Some of the font is really small, but what it is it gives you every day of the year a different page. You just read one page, put your glasses on, read one page, and each day of the week has a different theme. From, you know, Mondays, I think is, I don't remember the days of the week, but there's the arts. All right, Monday is history. Tuesday is literature. Wednesday is visual arts. Thursday is science. That's a good one for me. Not very good at science. Friday is music, another one that I struggle with. Reading the music passages, I'm like, what's that again? Melody? How's that work? And finally, Saturday is philosophy. Sunday is religion. So you're covering all the major areas of knowledge, and you're getting just a great snippet, pretty, you know, in-depth enough of a really interesting topic that you've learned about. It's all going to kind of ring a bell. You're going to be like, yeah, I learned about Aristotle, but tell me something, remind me about Aristotle, you know, that kind of thing. It takes a minute or 2 or 5 in the morning to read this, and I like it because it's just once a day, you know, and or one day a week. You know, you find the Monday and you read it, or the Tuesday and you read it. So the intellectual devotional. Revive your mind, complete your education, and roam confidently with the cultured class. How's that for a, whatever you call that, tagline? Okay, so 1, 2, 3. That was 3. Okay, now we're on to number 4. Is something I've talked about. This I used all weekend traveling. Went to Ohio to visit my son for his fraternity father's weekend, and this is my go-to travel blanket / wrap / scarf / just, I always have it in my carry-on bag. It is from Flirty Finds, flirtyfinds.com. Jamie might be watching, and it's cashmere, but it's affordable cashmere. It's the perfect size for everyone, and there's so many different ways to wrap it. You don't have to have a degree in scarf wrapping. It's pretty self-explanatory because the size is so good, but it adds warmth. You can wear it over a dressy dress at night. You can wear it with jeans and a white t-shirt and boots and go out to dinner and look like $1,000,000. And you can take it on the airplane and stay warm. Okay, next, foundation, makeup. Told you this was random. People have asked me about makeup. I'm going to update my makeup blog post this week, I hope, and skincare and all that. But in the meantime, the foundation is to me very important. And I've tried so many, but I always come back to the IT Cosmetics CC cream. It is would say it is a full coverage foundation, but not cakey. It goes on just naturally looking. I use the IT Cosmetic brush to put it in and put it on and blend it. I just come back to it. It's got some sunscreen in it. I put it on over my sunscreen though. It has hyaluronic acid, anti-aging, SPF 50, but that doesn't count as your SPF, but it certainly doesn't hurt. And it's the CC cream, your skin, but better. It's good stuff. It covers up. In fact, usually I don't even wear, what's this stuff? Concealer, because I just put this under my eyes and blend it all in. So that's what I use for foundation. Okay. Getting even more random, talking about productivity. Does anyone have one of these little gizmos? This is my handy dandy little task timer that I use to keep myself focused and on task, doing one thing at a time. I am the queen of multitasking. Like, oh, I'll do this, and while I do that, I'll fold laundry, and then I'll check my email while this is downloading, and the next thing you know, I haven't done anything but, you know, checked Facebook. You know, it's a problem. But what this does, and you could say, well, just do an alarm on your phone or on your watch. You could do that, but then you're on your phone, which kind of defeats the purpose. What this does is you pick how much time you have to do a certain specific project. It could be as many as 50 minutes, as few as 10 minutes. I use the 10 minutes thing a lot because I'm like, okay, I can get this done in 10 minutes if I focus, right? So I'll turn it on. You put it so that the 10 is facing up. You turn it on, it beeps, and the timer starts, and it lights up. When 10 minutes is up, it beeps, and you can set it again, or you can move on to the next thing. But it's a timer, but it's kind of cute, and it's on Amazon. And I have to say, it really does help me. Okay, anyone keeping track of what number we're on? We're going to stick with, I lined everything up here. So next, going with random things. We're talking about hair, okay? I've shared this before. I've had this gizmo for years, and it came with me to Newport. This is my Hot Tools Hot Blow Dry Brush. Key to this is you're not going to use this on soaking wet hair. You're going to use your regular hair dryer and rough dry it. That's what they call it, where you just use your fingers, put your products in, use your fingers to get your hair almost dry. And then if you're good, you can section it. That helps. And use this to just go through section by section. And it makes a lot of noise. It's very loud, but look at the grip. You get great grip with this, and you don't have to be doing the brush with the hair dryer. I never got to do that. Got good at that. So like in the back, like you can just go like this and just go like that and just guide it. It's obviously not turned on right now, but you can see, I mean, I have a ton of hair, and you can see how it's really gripping it and pulling it. So this thing has been a godsend for me. It really, it gives me as close to a professional blowout as I can get without going and getting a professional blowout. But when I was getting a professional blowout one day, she told me to, before you, as you're using this, make sure you protect your hair. And she sold me this Unite 7 seconds glossing thermal shine spray. It's like an aerosol. And she said you can even just spray the brush. You can spray your regular brush too. You can blow dry with your regular brush, but it protects and it gives shine. And for me, it helps with the frizz. And I use this stuff, and I've had this for 6 months probably. Aerosol, probably not so good for you, but that's what I use. Okay, number 9. Number 9 is something I talk about also, and that is just having one pair of more current modern jeans. Jeans have changed. We all love our skinnies. We all love our old flares. Break those out. Those are very on trend. But if you have one pair of new jeans, my recommendation is to get a lighter wash, a medium to light wash, straight leg jean that is an ankle length that hits you, and maybe you have to get it in petite, or maybe you cut them and have them be frayed for a casual pair of jeans. So they hit you at your ankle bone, okay, or right above your ankle bone, showing your ankle. It's just instantly a modern look for jeans, okay? Now, it doesn't have to be your only pair. You don't have to wear them every time you wear jeans, but Old Navy has 50% off all their jeans right now. And I linked a couple pairs, including a mid-rise, because I know a lot of us don't love the super high rise. These are mid-rise, which are still kind of high. They're still gonna, suck you in here, but they're not up here. Mid-rise, power, slim, straight jeans. So if you're a skinny girl jean, these are a great alternative. They're not quite as skinny. They're not going to be tight down to your ankle, but they're not going to be baggy, and they're not going to be loose, and you're not going to feel dumpy in them, which I know some of us do in the looser straight leg jeans. They're just not great on everyone, and don't force it. But finding a slim, straight jean that's not like a jegging or true tight skinny jean will just make you look so much more modern. It really will. And especially if the length is right at like ankle length. And then, you wear your loafers with them. You can wear ballet flats if that's what you wear. You can wear sneakers with them all day long. And then I hear you, but Beth, it's going to get cold. What do I wear? My ankles will get cold. Wear booties at that point. Once it's too cold to wear the loafers, I wear loafers until it starts to snow. My ankles don't really make me cold as long as the rest of my body is warm. But if it's really cold and lousy out, just throw booties on. And the beauty of the straight leg is the booty shaft is just gonna go right under the straight leg jean, or the straight leg jean will just kind of sit on top of the booty, depending on the lengths of each, the shaft and the boot or the pant. Okay, I forgot, speaking of pants, number 1, I think, that I missed was the pants I have on, which is another new/old silhouette of pants. And that is boot cut or flare, full length black pants are a great thing to have. And Peach, if a lot of you are fans of Peach as I am, Peach this season came out with their famous beloved Ponte fabric in a full length. Comes in 2 lengths, regular, which is what I get, or long for you tall girls. Now the regular length, they made them so that they are very easy to hem. I mean, you could do it yourself, or you could take them to the seamstress, and it'd probably be, I mean, I don't know how much seamstress or tailors cost, but they made it so it's very inexpensive, an easy fix. It doesn't mess up the way they hang or the width of the leg or anything to have them shortened. So you can get them to the length that you want. With these, I recommend going full length. Figure out what shoe you're gonna wear with them, and then have them hit, you know, right full length, you know, so they're not dragging on the ground. But I'm gonna lower my camera so you can see them on me. I'm wearing them as we speak with loafers, chunky loafers. I'm gonna back up here. So here they are. I'll take off a shoe so you can see where they land on my bare foot. Can you see that? And these are unaltered. These are, I'm wearing a size small, regular. But some of my tall girls got the tall length, and they're fantastic. And as you can see, they are just a pull-on. They're just a pull-on, but they have faux pockets. They are not painted on me skin tight, but they are not loose and flowy, so that I can still, you could even wear, maybe not this shirt, but you don't need to tuck in necessarily, maybe with a different shirt. But do you know what I mean? Like, it's because they're fitted enough through the legs and the hips, you could wear an untucked shirt that's maybe a little shorter like this. You don't have to tuck in, but it's easy to do a half tuck, even of a shirt like this. I just, to half tuck a shirt like this, I'm just gonna take the front. There are all kinds of tricks with unbuttoning and crisscrossing, and I honestly can't be bothered with that. Watch Instagram for those tricks. That's not my area of expertise. I just take it and just tuck a little smidge of it in, and then you got to play with it. Then just pull it out, and what you're creating is sort of that V, where you're pointing up towards the smallest part of your waist. You're creating a waist with a very loose half tuck. I'm not tucking it all the way in, and then I'm just leaving it out, which you don't have to do. I know a lot of, like my mother, that she hated that. Then just if you don't want that little tail, which I kind of like, you can just do the same thing in the back. And this shirt has enough structure that it just stays. You don't have to do anything fancy. Okay, so these are a great pair of pants. You might already have, you know, black or dark or denim, boot cut flare. These are considered high waist. They're not way up high. They're just right, and they have this nice flat panel here, which is just smoothing and so comfortable. I mean, talk about napping pants. I could break into a downward dog in these. But that was number 10. Oh no, I've got one more thing. I have the famous Shacket is my number 10 most picked worn item. And I've had this Shacket for a good, all you ladies who don't like when I take a lot of time or having a fit out there. Sorry, it's live video. Give me a break. A couple videos ago, I had people coming out of the woodwork screaming at me. You talk too much. Anyway, sorry. I am who I am. I'm 56. I'm not changing. I'm trying though. I'm trying to be a little less verbose. But this is a Shacket. These were big last year. They are still really popular, and they are not expensive. I posted one, I linked one from Amazon. This one is from Nordstrom, and it's still available in a great red. Like, I'm like killing me that I just can't justify ordering another Shacket. But if I could, I'd buy the red. I think that would just look so cool. And it's sort of like, remember the chamois shirts back from high school? It's like that chamois material. And you're going to see these, if you haven't already, I'm sure you have, everywhere instead of coats. You wear it instead of a coat, especially in the fall. They're often in plaid. I like the solid, but the plaid is fantastic too. Pick what you like. And you don't have to, you just size down. They're already oversized. So if you're on the bubble, I would say size down in almost any Shacket that you're going to be shopping for. And then keep everything else, just wear, you know, your basic under layers. Especially your slim jeans are going to be great with a Shacket. You could even wear leggings. If you love leggings, you could wear leggings with a Shacket because you've got all this coverage. And is it the most flattering article of clothing? No, but it's practical and it's cool and it's modern and it's versatile and it's cool. Hey, that's what it is. So that was number 10. My top 10 things that I'm, using on repeat. And now I'm going to go down to my basement, and my goal is to pick 10 things that I'm going to give away from down in my basement, 10 things that moved here with us. So wish me luck on that. Maybe I'll do a video next week on what those 10 things were. Anyway, I encourage you to do the same. Purge, pick what you like, and put that stuff front and center, and get rid of some of the superfluous stuff. Okay, but that's it for now, ladies. Sorry I didn't see any comments or questions. Facebook is not showing me anything, but if you commented, I always go back and will answer any questions you might have. But all the links are in the description of the video. Bye for now.